Did you guys see what it is that happened with Gerald McCoy? If you're not familiar with who Gerald McCoy is, he's very good for almost a decade for the Tampa Bay Bucks as a run stuffer. It's a thankless job, defensive tackle. We don't know many of them, but this guy was so good that he was a name we knew. He was colorful. He's professional. You see what he's upset about, because it wasn't just that he had to leave Tampa for the Panthers and didn't seem to want to leave Tampa. But now what he's upset about is that the Bucks signed Ndamukong Suh after releasing McCoy, and they gave him number 93, which is the number that McCoy wore all 9 years in Tampa. Now, you may say to yourself, okay, come on, big man. Like, what are you doing? Like, Suh wants to be 93 too, and they signed him. But what he points out is that they gave his number to a player on a one-year contract when the team has always held off on giving up the numbers of players like Warren Sapp, Leroy Selman, John Lynch, Rondé Barber. They're always respectful with the number. So it seems like a silly thing to be upset about, but
it's stupid.
I understand why he's upset about it, and Lord knows Stugatz would be upset about it. You're calling it stupid, but you would totally be in line with feeling like if someone came in here under a one-year contract, replaced you, and started doing your bits, you would be hurt by that beyond measure.
It's just a jersey, man. Like, be Warren Sapp if you don't want anyone to touch your jersey. You weren't that. You were good. You weren't great. And there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Bruce Arians. I mean, that's it. New rules. New sheriff, new rules. That's the deal. And he wasn't Warren Sapp. That's the key part. If it's Warren Sapp, even a new sheriff comes in and preserves that jersey. But you're just Gerald McCoy. Get over it.
Do me a favor, Chris. Look up Gerald McCoy's IMDb and let's see how many stats Stugatz gets right about what Gerald McCoy is.
IMDb. He was in movies?
All right, I'm going to check it out.
Check out Gerald McCoy's IMDb. His Pro Football Focus grade.
Are you saying McCoy's a bit better than I'm giving him credit for?
I'm saying the part that's going to make this hard is that position doesn't lend itself to a lot of sacks. And saying he's not Warren Sapp is saying what every defensive lineman since Warren Sapp is, which is that they're not Warren Sapp getting sacks from the middle of the field.
Okay, so I'm on Gerald McCoy's IMDb. There was an acting credit in which he played Gerald McCoy in The League, which was a popular show on FX. Then he played himself on The Dan Patrick Show in episode 12.4, 2018, and also something called The Game Day Commute. He played himself. Archive footage, he was featured once on Rome is Burning.
I mean, look at that.
We should check Sapp's IMDb. You know where Gerald McCoy never appeared, Dan? League leaders in sacks. Never had double digits. Not 1 year. Ever.
He plays defensive tackle. It's
not whatever.
Aaron Donald. But, guys, we stumbled upon a second Gerald McCoy IMDb page.
Whoa!
I don't know why he's got two, but
that's why I told you to look for him.
He played himself.
That's why.
He played himself on Celebrity Family Feud. He played himself on a TV series called Boomer and Geo. Oh, is that the new morning show out there? He played himself on the Jim Rome Show.
He's been typecast as himself. Huh?
No. He played an audience member in WWE Raw in 2017.
Hey!
And he played himself as an Oklahoma Sooner in the FedEx BCS National Championship game in 2009.
Oh, wow.
I went to Warren Sapp's IMDb, and in 2012, did you guys know he had a show called Judge Sapp? Warren Sapp was a judge. In Warren Sapp's court, real people resolve real issues before one of sports' most outrageous and outspoken personalities. Donning a robe and wielding a gavel for the first time,
Amazing.
Judge Sapp. Hold on, I need to click to go
No,
more.
do me a favor. Hold on to that, Billy. Get me as much sound as you can get cleared, and I want to come back with as much Judge Sapp information as we can.
If he found you guilty, he would breathe on you.
Guillermo, do you have any Judge Sapp information you could give me? You have sent a lot of sound to clearance on a television show none of us remember, which is Judge Warren Sapp. All I know so far is that Judge Warren Sapp had a DJ in his courtroom.
He had a DJ in his courtroom who he would consult. He had a legal analyst who was an actress, and some of the judgments were decided by a spinning wheel.
Okay.
Oh, man. 14-show run, man.
All
Seems
right.
like it should have been longer.
We have to talk more about this. You fell down a hole here during the break. researching the Judge Warren Sapp television show that lasted 14 episodes. What happened?
Well, here's the thing. The Warren Sapp Judge Show, Judge Sapp, was interesting itself, but I couldn't find the trailer of it. But thankfully, Awful Announcing found the trailer, and they gave us highlights of the trailer. So Judge Sapp, in his judicial robe, filling his car with gas. I'm not sure what that has to do with a courtroom show. So that was one of the highlights. He was also flattening pancakes with his gavel. He was talking to his DJ.
That's cool.
Lots of things going on in this show. So then I said, wait a minute, I have to be able to find this trailer somewhere. So I looked up what channel it was on. It was called The Knock. And The Knock was just a YouTube channel. So I clicked the link for what was The Knock's page. Apparently The Knock was purchased by Vice Sports. And I guess Vice Sports deleted all of these videos because I can't find any of them. But I did more research on The Knock. The Knock, Dan, had a number of shows. One of them was called Nash Camera Action. And all I could find out about Nash Camera Action was it was Steve Nash doing parody videos of The Dark Knight and The Godfather. Then I found another show called Let's Buy Bleep. And I thought there would only be one episode of Let's Buy Bleep, which I found was Larry Fitzgerald shopping for clothes. But then I did a little more digging, and I found Darnell Dockett buying an alligator on an episode of Let's Buy Bleep. Then I found Meta World Therapy.
Oh, wow.
You can probably guess where this one's going. Meta World Peace is a therapist, right? No. Meta World Peace is not a therapist. Meta World Peace went to children to be his therapist. Not like children therapists that, like, consult children. No. Children were the therapist for Meta World Peace. So he'd give them his problem scenarios, and they'd tell him how to solve them as children.
Makes sense.
Put it on the poll. What was the name of that? The Knocks, you said?
The Knock was the name of the channel. The N-O-C.
All right. Put it on the poll. Was The Knock better than ESPN? Because it sounds like it.